I don't know why it keeps cutting me off. Oh well, I'm on now. Well, what was I saying anyway? Yeah, so these guys have been. So that's really unfortunate. I have not actually had. I didn't even get the intro in. That's not great. Well, they heard you, I think. At least they should. Oh no! What the hell? Oh, so yeah, no, they haven't been able to hear either of us. That's really frustrating. Oh well. I don't know why that is.
Oh, Glenn Kirk been involved in a incident right at the end there.
So let's just quickly, because they haven't heard any of our voice commentary at all. Let's just quickly talk about, since you've got a minute, why Lee Hems went from plus 10 second penalty to a plus 15.
So there was a rather unbecoming coming together in T1 that involved a lot of cars. It was close to a red flag, but wasn't quite meeting that threshold. Amidst that chaos, Lee. I'm going to get my names of everybody correct. So yeah, so Lee Hems had been spun around in the chaos, attempted to rejoin by pulling a very cool skiddy 180, only to put himself directly into the path of the rather unfortunate Carlos Barros. So on first look, it was a 10-second penalty, and then on a later review, hunting for other transgressions in T1, it looked worse on second looking. So another 5 seconds there for Lee. A little bit unfortunate because he was unlucky to get caught up in the first place, but you've got to watch your rejoins, especially in weather like this.
Yes, you do. No, you definitely do. Very unfortunate. But then the brakes. So after the first absolutely soaking wet race, we have Darren Menzies takes first position for the pro class, David Lolek for the silvers, and Matt Gale for the bronze class. And then overall in the podiums, we've got Darren Menzies in first, obviously, Gabe Hauke and Roman Frala in third. Now I've got to just think, because obviously we didn't obviously we said it out, but we didn't. Nobody heard it because I wasn't broadcasting it. So if we just quickly go back over race 2, so we had Michael Stevens win the Circuit of Americas, which I think we both agreed was absolutely outstanding from him. He really showed that he knew that track. Roman Frallo in second, and Rich Gasson took third. Race 3 at Alton Park was Darren Menzies finally getting a first place finish despite placing pole in Brands Hatch. And then Rich Gasson second, Gabe Hauke third. First appearance of Gabe Hauke in the polls since not quite sure Brands Hatch, but definitely in these two races. And then overall in the season, we've got Rich Gasson, Darren Menzies, Roman Frala for the gold class. Silver, Jamie Armitage, Andy Bentley, David Lolek. And then bronze, Dieter van Brabant, Rory Kilby, and Matt Gale in the bronze. I think I covered it.
Yeah, there's been some very quick guys in silver and bronze in the last couple of races as well.
Yeah. So we're just waiting now for the next race to start. It will be a dry race. It will be a dry race. Not splashtastic. So I think, yeah, what was the phrase earlier? It was esteemed drivers. Our esteemed drivers will now be taking the Paul Ricard on a dry track.
Esteemed racing dads.
Ah,
Just
steamed
for
racing
the,
dads. Yes.
I'm glad I wrote that down there.
Yeah. Well, I obviously had it written down, but I'm really annoyed now. I'm frustrated that I didn't. I mucked up and I wasn't recording any of our voice because in hindsight, it doesn't make as much sense saying it after the wet race, but I think it's safe to say that our dads definitely showed that they had mastered the art of hydroplaning as if they were born for it. That they navigated through puddles and hydroskid around corners in an awe-inspiring way, and they definitely had perfected the art of pretending to be in control while secretly praying for a divine intervention. I think we can definitely say that.
We could definitely say that, and we can also definitely say how impressive you can translate previously scripted stuff into the past tense.
Sometimes you've just gotta. Now, I just want to make sure that I haven't lost connection to the server or something. Are we still at the end of the race?
Yes, we are
Okay.
still at the end of the race from what I can see. People are logging out of this server. I think there might be a separate server set up for the dry race. I'm not 100%. I might go and dive into the main chat channel to find out exactly what's happening, to get shouted at for dodgy stewarding decisions, and then I will return. Does that make sense?
Yep. All right. We'll see you in a bit. We're just gonna wait here. See what happens.
See you in 2 minutes.
Right, looks like we are back. We've got a dry track. We've got Michael Stevens on a dry track. Let's just have a quick cheeky look to see what he's using on his traction control settings. Oh, TC3, ABS 5. That's not right. What's going on? Times are changing.
Hi, I am back.
Yes, you are. Welcome back.
So I left. There was a little bit of acrimony. It won't surprise you to hear that Wayne Bennett is at the centre of it. Some general grumbling. The grid order for this next race, even though it's in the dry, is based on the qualifying they had in the wet. Wayne
Right.
didn't do very well in the wet qualifying, but did better in the race. But so yes, the qualifying is based on the wet qualifying they had earlier in the week.
Okay. Well, certainly going to mix things up a bit, isn't it?
It is indeed. And they're having, I think it's a 10-minute practice.
Yeah, it looks something like that. They're in about 7 minutes in. I realised quite quickly that my edition of the game had not caught up with the server, and everyone was just sitting there still revving their engines for some reason. So I had to quickly reset that. But we're back. We're watching Michael Stevens make his way around the track at the minute. Because I guess he's in first, according to the leaderboard. I'm just going to, I think what we're just going to have to do for a little bit is just let them practice and see who we can pick up going around the track at speed. Which Gabe Alker's definitely doing.
Seems to be quite a few less drivers in this server.
Clearly don't like driving on dry Paul Ricard.
No, they're in it for the danger.
The danger and the slippery stripes. So let's see who sets a decent lap time. I mean, there's not much to talk about on practice, is there? Other than this car's gone round pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a limitation of the practicing format. They're not qualifying, they're not racing. They're just having a little bit of a saunter around.
Yeah. Just enjoying themselves. Well, you hope anyway. Alright, we've got some times down. Nick Golding comes straight out with a 155.7. Anyone else going to set a lap time? Of course, everyone's tyres are probably still warming up at this point. What to do? So, Stephen Kral now sets a 158. Gabe Halker set a 158, but I'm yet to be convinced that's actually his fastest time yet. Could be.
Yeah, it's rare to see Gabe 3 seconds off the top, isn't it? So you suspect that wasn't his going 100%.
No, well, Gabe's well known for doing the practice with race fuel qualify with nothing. So, even so, I wouldn't expect him to be 3 seconds down.
Maybe Gabe's still got his wet setup on.
The tyres just screaming over us with heat. It's too hot. What are you doing? So, as our practice comes into its final 3 minutes, Thomas Nawrocki currently holds the fastest time on track. Yeah, it's so Gabe did just set a 1:55.6, but it wasn't valid. As did Nick Golding. So I think we're going to see Gabe much more in that kind of range if he can just get the lap to be valid. Thomas here showing he's no slouch whatsoever.
So in race 1, I applied a combined amount of 25 seconds worth of penalties. Do
Yeah.
you think there'll be more or less seconds of penalties in this second race?
I think that the drivers will be, our esteemed racing dads will be more confident, more willing to take risks, and as such, more likely to fuck up. So I think there will be more seconds this race than last.
I think that is a good call.
So what was it? It was 25 seconds.
Yep.
He said.
So that was, and 15 seconds of that was all for Lee Hems, and then a couple of smaller incidents later on.
So 25 seconds is the number to beat. Hopefully it all doesn't happen on lap 1, but you know how these things go.
Yep.
I have to say, I do like the Kodak 296 car. It's very pretty. It's got nice colours.
This is what a practice session has driven you to. Interesting colour schemes.
I mean, you should go back and watch some of the stuff that Kiki and I talked about during these sessions, and you'll realise that nothing's changed. Nothing's changed whatsoever. I'm just going through the cars now, looking at different... free practice is over, thank God. I mean, oh no. Okay, I'm convinced now Gabe Halker has actually filled his car full of sand. Because he's just not... I don't know if you caught me there, but I think Gabe is filled his car full of sand and waited till the last possible lap to throw it all out.
Yeah, typical Gabe. Typical Gabe. Your voice did go funny for a couple of seconds there. Was that? Were you
Yeah, it was
fiddling with
just
things?
no, it was just my collector mic dropped out and my headset took over briefly. It's not a big concern. So we got 2.5 minutes until the next session. These guys. So it's a very familiar sight, to be honest. Oh, of course it is, because they're qualifying in the same order. They're starting in the same order. So the question is, will Darren Menzies get past Gabe Halker again? That's the question on my mind. And will Rich Gasson pirouette himself round and round and round and lose 10 places.
Yes.
Hopefully not.
I think you're right. I think we'll see a more aggressive start, which could lead to issues at the front.
I think you're very right. I think you are very right. We've got 1 minute and 30 seconds till we find out. Now is a good time to grab a drink before we see our dads. On a nice dry track.
At dusk as well. I don't know if they've accelerated the time so it gets dark during this race, but it's a very picturesque time of the evening at the moment.
You can definitely tell it's summer as well because it's 10 p.m.
Mm.
I miss that.
Yeah.
10 p.m. dusk. As opposed to the 4:30 in the afternoon dusk. It's weird to think that just over a month ago, it was 35 degrees C.
Yeah. Crazy.
And now it rarely is ever above 15. It is absolutely bonkers. Right. 4 seconds. It's a question on my mind. 2 questions, really. As we've stated, will we get more than 25 seconds of penalty in the next 30 minutes? And will Darren Menzies repeat his performance and get his way past Gabe Hauke? Or will Rich Gasson actually pip them both? Or will Gabe successfully defend? Who knows? We're about to find out. They make their way towards the green start line. Well, the start line and the green lights. And it's lights out! And Gabe Hauke's pulling away. It's neck and neck with Darren Menzies. Darren Menzies going to go around the outside of corner 1. He's pulling ahead just a little bit. Is he going to hold on to that lead? Looks like he just might. And he gets the inside into corner 2 and he's done it! And I should probably stop talking so loudly. So, that was just a commanding overtake. Completely commanding overtake. And there's been so far no yellow flags. What's going on?
No, there's a little bit of side-by-side contact at the back and this sort of S's bit there, but nothing major.
There goes Marek Dvorak. Marek Dvorak falling down the table. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, is that Wayne Bennett? Is that Wayne Bennett again? Oh, no. Oh, no. Not Wayne Bennett again. What happens there? Oh. He has a hit. I don't think that was it. I don't think that was the big one. No, we're not just not going to see it. Oh, well. Jimmy Armitage goes for a big slide. Goes for a... And he's gone back to pits. Oh, well. That's... Looks like it's it for Jamie Armitage. As he gets the end of the Mistral Straight, and he just, I think, completely misses his braking point. Oh, he just slides. He just slides. Oh, that must not feel great at all. So Darren Menzies still leading the race after a very commanding start. Gabe Halka chasing him down. It looks like Roman Frauler has lost a position to David Lolek. David should be in pro Lolek. Much quieter as the pack heads down the Mistral Straight. Are we going to see a repeat, do you think, of Cormac Quinn and Eddie Wilkins battling for that high position again?
Be nice to see some swaps around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, talking of, Roman Frauler's just making his way. He's in a bit of a battle with David Lolek at the minute. I think David's holding on. Just about. David's going to get the inside, pushing Roman Frauler out a bit. But Roman's not giving up. He is not giving up. But it looks like Michael Stevens is looking to take opportunity. There's a lot going on down this end of the pack, I'll tell you that. Lee Hems moving up. Or moving down, sorry. Michael Stevens moving up. It's neck and neck for Glenn Kirk and Lee Hems. It's neck and neck for Roman Frauler and David Lolek. Roman Frauler's pulling ahead, but he's got the outside line. He's got to get in front of David now, and he just about does it going into the corner, but David gives him space. Roman Frauler runs wide. That is a big cut. That is a big cut. Roman, come on. I can almost hear David complaining about it right now. Would not want to be in that chat right now. It looks like he's fallen back a bit. He doesn't take complete piss of it, but we'll see how that plays out. Gabe continuing to chase Darren, and he's trying to get that toe, and it looks like Darren's weaving a bit, trying to throw him off a little bit. As they both go right up to the limit. Ooh, Glenkirk has a bit of a snap. That's got a... There's a squeaky bum moment. Lee Hems makes his way past. And Nick Golding makes his way past Eddie Wilkins. And Stephen Carl's got a 5-second penalty. What's going on there?
10 seconds now. So I'm just catching up with the end of the incidents in the first few sets of corners in lap 1. A 5-second penalty for Dave White. He missed his braking and smacked the car in front quite hard. Not many places lost for the victim car, but it looked like it would have given him quite a lot of rear damage. So yeah. I think a 5-second penalty about right for Dave there. And then Stephen Quayle into the bottom hairpin, just slight misjudgment of his braking and span round Dvorak. And because Dvorak lost quite a lot of spaces, and it was lap 1, that's a 10-second penalty for Stephen Quayle.
Well, we were saying it's up to. Well, we were saying it's they were going to be a bit more confident, but we still haven't got up. We've still got 10 more seconds to get. We continue watching now. Lee Hems is working his way up the field. He's looking up the inside of Michael Stevens. He just needs to get a bit further ahead. I don't think Michael Stevens is going to let him have it down the Mistral Straight. Porsche is not struggling so much for straight line speed anymore. It seems to be holding its own at this circuit at the very least, which is a bit of a surprise. Lee Hems is definitely trying to pull a tighter line. He's trying to get up the inside. I don't know if it's going to work for him. Because now, Glenkirk's putting him under pressure.
I've got a slight conundrum in our sweepstake on how many seconds of penalties this race, because poor Matt Keys, the victim of the vicious rear ending earlier on in the lap, at the end of lap 1, got hit again by, this time by Wayne Bennett. Wayne has now left the server. So do we count those seconds that Wayne would have had, or are there, when a penalty is applied in the forest, does anyone there to hear it?
I mean, it's up to you, but I would say the Wayne, he did punish himself, but he still got allocated the seconds in the last race. So watching Eddie Wilkins fighting it out with Carlos Barros. Looks like Carlos is having some grip issues. These cars wiggling all over the place. And up in the leaders, Gabe Halker is looking for that place back. Darren is coming for that place. He's got his mojo on. And the commentator's curse immediately starts to take effect and he loses time. Not my fault. Not my fault. Glenn Kirk's really on a tear. He did quite well in the first race and he's definitely showing he's no slouch in the second one. See who else is having a bit of a battle. Michael Stevens not doing quite so well this race. He's lost a few positions from the looks of things. I can't believe that all of that was due to racecraft. So for we just had a bit of an incident with Poudy Mull and Javier Farre. Let's see what was going on there. As our two drivers make their way around the track. Oh, that was a big collision. I'm very interested in what you think of that between 59 and 333.
Oh, I'm about 6 incidents away from that at the moment. He spins.
Stephen Kral and David Lollett making their way. Oh, sorry, I think that's... No, that's Nick Golding. No, it's not. Who is that? It might be a back marker. Oh, it's not. That is Stephen Kral. Oh, silly me. Stephen Kral of the Lamborghini. Getting chased down by Cormac Quinn and Lee Hems. We've got a Lamborghini sandwich. Or is it a Ferrari sandwich? The bread is a Lamborghini. It's starting to get much more dark. Oh, Carlos Barros has gone for a bit of a spin. His car was already looking a little twitchy.
Hey.
Let's see if we got... Oh, yeah. No. The car wants to go left when you want to go right. But, yeah, it's just not happening. So Marek Dvorak's just made his way past Mariano.
Marek Dvorak, sorry, is about to get a penalty.
Uh-oh. Well, Mario's about to be happy. What did Marek Dvorak do?
They'd been having a good battle with Dave White, but then they came up on a slower car, caused a little bit of concertinaing, and Dvorak just turned Dave around. So I think 5 seconds.
Looks like Cormac Quinn has finally made his way past Stephen Kral. And looks like Lee Hems is looking to do the same thing. As he follows him all the way around the outside, gets a bit squeezed. But he's got the inside corner now. And looks like that position is his. I wonder if Stephen Kral is fighting a little bit of tilt after getting that 10-second penalty. Very easy to lose focus when you're looking at that big red 10. Could we about to see a move here on Darren Menzies? Gabe Hauker's definitely within lunging zone. He's looking up the inside. Alright, see how this works out as he comes in to the end of the Mistral Straight. And he just backs out of it. He's just not quite close enough. But he's definitely showing that car has got speed down the straight. It really does. He's just got to gain a couple more tenths. Maybe even a couple of hundredths down before that straight. And he's... Oh, opportunity here. Darren Menzies has a bit of a wiggle. Definitely an opportunity here. He's lost a bit of time. We see Gabe making something out of this as he comes into final set of corners and down the main straight.
Just to add that Lee Hems has gone for his full house of penalties today. He's just collected another 5 seconds for spinning Mr. Stevens round.
Great.
Oh.
We follow our esteemed leading dads as they make their way down the Mistral Straight once more. And will Gabe get another lunge? I'm not sure if it's going to happen this time. Don't think the gap is quite short enough. Mistral, of course, is a kind of wind that blows from southern France into the Gulf of Leon into the northern Mediterranean. And can often exceed 66 kilometers per hour. And sometimes reaching over 185 kilometers per hour, which is, I guess, why the straight's called that.
Top facts.
It's hot facts. Call it the Windy Straight from now on. There's not a huge amount going on here. Lee Hems. It's constant battle with Cormac Quinn. These two have been fighting like crazy since the last race. Now, will we see a move from Lee Hems? I just think, actually, that Ferrari is just pulling away quite a bit stronger down the straights than the Lamborghini of Lee Hems there. Just seeing out the corner of my eye, Carlos Barros has made his way past Matt Gale. I don't know if Matt Gale's just under a bit of pressure from Marat Dvorak, his teammate in Lamb Chops. But I'm getting the sense with our leaders that as they wiggle their way down the straight, trying not to give each other toes. That they're pretty evenly matched at the moment. They're all setting similar-ish lap times, although looks like Gabe and Rich are starting to fall off, I say, as Gabe runs wide, gives Rich Gasson the opportunity to stick his nose in, even if he's not making anything of it. It's David Lolek of Lolek Racing, chasing down Thomas Navrocki. As we get into the mid-race lull, as our drivers trying to bed in their advantage or trying to just make minute improvements as their tyres start to lose a little bit of their edge. Michael Stevens making his way past Menno Deckers. Let's see if we can go back and grab that overtake. Oh, he goes around the outside from the looks of things. He does, and then he gets the inside line, and that is a clean pass. And Menno, unfortunately, losing a bit of grip on his rear tyres. Just a little bit fast on the throttle. So we're up to 25 seconds on the board that I see, so we've at least equaled.
Yes, and there's going to be some more after the race. You know, there's something gone a bit skew with the software that we use, because there's a definite crash here where you see the nose of a car that looks like it's at fault, but it's not recorded in the software, like a ghost.
Oh, right.
Pavel Joswick. So I might gonna have a look at that actually, because that's intrigued me as to what happened there.
We see here Pavel Joswick making his way past Matt Gale. Well, that's well timed. Oh, commentator's curse occurs. And Pavel slides off the track.
Yeah,
It's just leave that where that is. Not make things worse. Now we join Thomas Navrocki as he chases down Glenn Kirk. It's getting quite quiet. Quite quiet indeed. Michael Stevens putting the pressure onto Bruceus. It's quite difficult with the camera angles at this track, actually, sometimes to tell who's ahead of who. Oh, All very, very close racing there. Both drivers respecting each other a bit. Michael goes around the outside and takes the lead of that battle. What's Marek Dvorak up to? He's chasing down Carlos Barros. Will he get the position? Stay tuned for this episode of Will He, Won't He? As we join the onboard, he slots in behind. He looks for the inside curb. He's just not got the run on him. Quick check back in with our leaders. Looks like Darren Menzies has secured his pole position. With a strong lead. Gabe Hauker dropping back by at least 0.7 seconds in the last 2 laps. Doesn't look like it's going too well for him now. I think he's had his window of opportunity and it's just closed. Oh, Nick Golding and David Lolek just overtaking. And he just goes up the inside. Keeps it nice and tidy. As usual, David is not going to give up that easily. He is a bit of a... Well, I don't know what to call him. He certainly doesn't give up. Pitbull? Just bites down and holds? We're going to go back in for overtake cam. Probably not the best angle. Not best angle at all. He just runs wide. So goes another edition of our battle between Lee Hems and Cormac Quinn. So far this race, Glenn Kirk's actually winning the silver class. Not David this time. Although David has fallen back quite a lot. I've seen just another little incident there with Pavel. He's not having the best of luck.
He's going to have worse luck now because I'm going to give him a 15-second penalty.
Oh.
It was onto the Mistral straight on the first lap. I don't know what got into him really. He nudged 2 cars, spun one into the other, and it was all very messy. And he's normally a very good, clean racer, but something went a bit awry there, so he's going to get hit with a little bit of a hefty penalty for that.
Well, I think that pretty much just ends his race, to be quite honest. Yeah, well, not quite, but it definitely hurts. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We're definitely starting to see a little bit more battling going on, a little bit more pressure being applied as the race is coming to its final chapters. Final few laps. The drivers are beginning to... I can never quite tell what's going on, whether it's some drivers are starting to tire out, the car's not performing the same way, perhaps they've got a more aggressive setup going on, or it's been a slow accumulation of time gained and suddenly drivers starting to come together again.
Yeah, I think it is. This is always after about half an hour. Well, for me, when I was racing, you start to a couple of mistakes creep in, or a bit of you've been doing the laps a few times, thinking about the finish or thinking about pitting in a normal race, and yeah, you can just get into a bit of a rut / groove.
Yeah. So if I was Gabe right now, I'd start getting a little bit worried because well, he's not going to catch Darren now. He's just straight up lapping about 4/10 slower. If we look at his last lap, but Rich Gasson is actually lapping. His last lap was 3/10 quicker than Gabe's was. He's got 2 minutes, which is about a lap, and he's 0.6 behind. So both drivers driving at the same level they did on the previous lap, it probably won't result in an overtake. However,
Ooh. Gabe's just made a little mistake.
exactly, that's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want to be making mistakes now because it's unlikely to recover at all. Which is why we're staring at him as commentators. It's unlikely. I mean, Rich Gasson, he's got only can gain really now. He's got about 9 seconds to Roman Fralla behind him. Call that 10. And he's 0.9 to Gabe, and he's just got to push.
I think it's all going to come down to the drive they get out of that last corner onto the Mistral Straight. Can he get in the sucking zone?
Well, our drivers do love a good suck.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to join him on the bonnet of his car. Oh, it's a bit tentative. It's a little bit tentative. He's gone 275 kph. He's slightly faster than Gabe is, but at that distance, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Oh, but he's gaining. He's massively gaining on Gabe through this corner, and he did it in the last lap as well. He's just got to maintain it. He's taking a very different line. Ooh, who just got a drive-through for track limits?
I think that's... Oh, poor Pavel Joswick.
Okay. Oh, that really hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurts. And Darren Menzies takes the win. Quickly followed by Gabe Hauker and Rich Gasson. In fact, that's the same result as the last race.
Nick Golding can't quite get past Tomasz Naroki. Just looking down the any last corner drama. Bruce Hughes behind Eddie Wilkins. He's not going to be able to get behind. Not going to be able to get in front.
Well, that was the dry race. And we'll see if we can catch up any stragglers, see if they've got any opportunity. I mean, we've got Javier Farry versus P. Mull. Oh, no.
Did he nudge him then?
I don't know. I didn't see him nudge him.
No, it's not come up on the contact system either, so I wonder if that was just Paulie Mull making a mistake near the end.
Definitely looked like it. Well, Javier Farry gains, as does Pavel Jozwiak. Not that there's much consolation to Pavel. He's probably going to finish with that drive-through. In fact, he does. So he gets a 45 seconds. So he gets a full minute if once your seconds are added, which puts him, I'm afraid, last. Well, that was that race.
Oh gosh, yes, a few penalties outstanding there.
Well, I think it's about time we grab some winners, and we've got twice as many. Well, not quite, because we've got some repeaters. But we've got... So Darren Menzies wins the dry and the wet in the gold class. Glenn Kirk wins the dry race in the silvers, and David Lolek in the wet. And then in the bronze class, Matt Gale wins the wet race, with Menno Deckers winning the dry race. So we've got some winners to grab, and I'll just do that as I find them.
Bring him in. It's gone quickly having 2 races.
Menzies, Glenn.
Welcome to the winner's circle, those of you just joining us.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations. Alex is just getting the other winners.
Is it what does the P stand for? Is it
Yeah, I
Peter
think
or
that
Paul?
Glenn won now, so
But for me, it's Phil.
Phil? I never even fucking seen that.
Do we know if Menno is in the comment in the chat?
The men Joe is Menno Deckers.
Right, okay, bro. Right, hello guys. Congrats on your relative wins. You've all won at least one of the races, or unless you're Darren Menzies, in which case you won both of them. So we'll start with the guys in bronze. We've got Matt Gale, who won the race in the wet. Hello, Matt.
Hello. Yes, got lucky. It was a quiet race for me, holding on by the skin of my teeth.
Much more to add to that? Was it enjoyable driving on flooded?
I enjoy wet, but flooded is a bit extreme. We'll leave it as that.
Okay. But you got the win anyway. And then for our dry race in bronze, Menno, congratulations on your bronze class win.
Thank you very much. It was a hard fight to keep in between the silvers, and the hard fight with the girl, but I enjoyed it very much.
Well, congratulations. It's nice to hear that you're up in the silvers having a battle, even if you're not necessarily fighting the class. In the silvers, we've got David Lolek, who's no stranger to this commentary box.
hello guys.
Congratulations. I mean, you were right up there with the pro class in terms of qualifying, so I'm not really that surprised to see you winning the wet race. Do you prefer driving in the wet?
Not really. Lots of practice. Try harder. 100 laps, I think. You need to know exactly where to go, to be honest, on that track. If you go other way on the side of the track, you dead. So it's lots of water, so you need to know where to drive.
Okay. But you definitely pulled it off. What happened in the second race to you?
On the second race, I have a problem again with the pressure tires, I think, and literally on the long straight, everybody overtake me again, like on the training. So yeah, and the longer the race happened, my tires going less. So I just was slow.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but
Still second, but slow. Yeah.
yeah. So, and our silver class dry race winner, Glenn. Seems
Hello.
like you had a great race from the sounds of it.
Yeah, it was
You-
good. Yeah, I think I had the same problem as Lolik with the tires. Obviously, the pressure dropped, or the temperature dropped, and then subsequently, obviously, pressure did as well. So, yeah, they were quite low towards the end. But yeah, I was sort of holding on, checking the gap. I could see that I can't remember who it was that was behind me, but yeah, they were closing. So, yeah, it was intense.
And in terms of your wet race, what
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. It was I spun a few times as is going to happen in the wet, but yeah, my first race in the wet. It's actually my first time at Paul Ricard, so yeah, it was a bit of a learning curve. Yeah, a bit of wet driving was nice. It's good to experience. Visibility was terrible, but apart from that, yeah, it was a good race.
Well, congratulations on your respective win. We're going to finally move on to our overall double winner. And yeah, if you guys feel free to go to the other chat if you.
Oh,
if you feel
exactly.
like-
I sit through their little speeches, but they
Yeah.
can go before that.
Well, Darren, I don't think there's much to be. What is there to say? You take it on lap 1, corner 2 at the very latest, and you hold on to it for the rest of the race. What is your secret?
You know what? About 2 weeks ago, we did Paul Ricard in a daily race, I think it was, and I was fucking terrible. Sorry for this one. I was really bad, like 2 seconds behind Gabe or something.
Yeah.
And it's the pre-quali. I learned how to race round Paul Ricard. I did 247 laps in the pre-quali server.
Oof.
All wet ones, by the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved it, and having somebody like Gabe and Rich they can come in and do like 10 laps and put in a really quick time. It really pisses me off. But having somebody like that, I am so competitive, and having somebody like that to go against just helps me, and I learn the track that way. I was really bad to begin with, but yeah, you summed it up. Basically, Gabe made one mistake in the dry race, and I got past him at the start. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it was a mistake. He just he was being very, very cautious, like you would be in turn 1, lap 1.
Yeah.
And I capitalised on that. I just broke a little bit later. And in the wet race, Rich made one little mistake. He'd actually got past me at the start, and then he made one little mistake, and then Gabe made one little mistake, and then I had to really concentrate to stay ahead because those guys won't give you a second chance, not at all.
No, it
great.
definitely looked like particularly in the dry race, the pressure was just on you continuously for
Yes.
up until the last 10 minutes when they started to fall off. Did you feel them kind of falling off? And
I knew that I was slightly quicker in the straight than Gabe, but I also knew that if he stayed in the draft, she would catch me. So he was putting in quick laps when he was using my draft. But I think a couple of corners in sector 3, I was a little bit quicker. I managed to get a little bit of a gap, and once I managed to gap the draft, it was a lot easier. Or not easier, but it wasn't as pressure. I didn't see his car so big in my rear view mirror. But I enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. I haven't been in this commentary box for a long, long time, so I was quite good.
That's
well,
because there wasn't a commentary box last week, though, right?
That's right, yeah. And do you know what? I was gutted. I was gutted about that when there was no commentary box. So yeah, so I really enjoyed it. It was a good race. No incidents, no crashes, no bumps. Everybody was good. Back markers that came into the play, they never got in the way or anything as well. So it was all good.
I'm
So-
glad to hear it.
While you've been doing the interview, I've been looking at the standings a little bit. And in the bronze class, I think I'm right in saying that Dieter van der Brandt and Rory Kilby weren't here tonight, who are first and second at the moment. Third and fourth, Matt and Menno. So this is going to be great for your season performances. Are you both thinking you can win bronze class this year?
It will be great, but I will do my best for it.
Yeah, I'll just hope the others don't turn up, and then we'll get some good points.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think that applies for most of our winners tonight, right? Like David is in third in the in the silvers, and Andy, I know was here, but didn't quite perform up there, so I expect David will definitely gain some position. I mean, Darren, I'm not sure what the gap is between you and Rich, but you definitely gained a couple of points tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I'll have a look later or tomorrow.
Do you feel the pressure from having a couple of bad races early on? Because
100%.
they're your drop races. You can't really
100%,
lose.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gutted. The what was the first week again? I forgot. But I'd practiced. Was it Suzuka? No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was.
Hatch, wasn't it?
Brands.
Brands.
Hatch.
Brands.
Yes.
Yeah, I practiced and did quite good practice, but I don't think I did very well in the race. But yeah, so you're right. I now have to perform basically as well as I can for the rest of the season to have a chance, and I will. Trust me. I am the meme in the Discord now for the practice laps. I think, which I don't mind because I enjoy it.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us in the commentary box. Unfortunately, I don't know when the next commentary will be, but we'll definitely try and catch you when we're next live. I know next week we are racing at Zandvoort.
Perfect.
Nice. I
Are
like
you all
Zandvoort.
looking forward to that?
Yep.
It's my home race.
Depends of the weather.
I hope for Wayne's sake that it's dry. Put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, any final thoughts, Phil?
Oh, it was a nice couple of races tonight. Time went pretty quickly. I think having the two sprint races, we were right with our prediction that there'd be more penalties in the second race. There's a few drivers that I think have gone away. I saw a few people sort of logging off early for a couple of races that are going to need to perform next week to avoid using up their drop rounds.
Yeah.
And yeah, looking forward to moving on.
Yes. Well, next, as I was saying, next one is Zandvoort, and then the Nürburgring. So, not sure when I will rejoin the commentary, but it has been great getting back to streaming tonight. Safe to say, I definitely miss it when I'm not here. But that will be all from us this evening at Paul Ricard, the stripy track. And wish you all the best, and hope to see you again soon. That's good night from me.
Good night.